Hey YouTube, it's Alicia here, none other. I am here to talk about my wrestling talk, but I'm going to be talking about the women's division. None other than that, I'm going to be talking about people who should have been part of the WWE Royal Rumble. And since WWE opened that door and invited Mickie James, the TNA Knockouts Women's Champion, I was going to name some females who should have came with Mickie to be part of that Royal Rumble. And I think some of y'all would be very surprised. And we're going to talk about Corey Graves' mouth also in this segment when it comes to Cameron and Naomi. So let's get started and let's go down the list of names that we have. Okay. We coming in at number 1, we have Sasha Banks. Melina at number 2. Number 3 is Tamina Snuka. Number 4, we have Kelly Kelly. Number 5, we have Aaliyah. Number 6, we have Liv Morgan. Number 7, we have Zelina Vega. Number 8, we have Bianca Belair. Number 9, Dana Brooks. Number 10, Michelle McCool. Number 11, Sonya Deville. Nadia at number 12. Cameron, yay! Cameron at number 13. Naomi at number 14. Carmella at number 15. Number 16, Rhea Ripley. Number 17, Charlotte Flair. Number 18, the legend Ivory. Number 19, Brie Bella. Number 20, everybody was enjoyed, is Mickie James. Number 21, Alicia Fox. Number 22, Nikki ASH. Number 23, Summer Rae. Number 24, Nikki Bella. Number 25, oh, my heart was so happy to see this woman, Sarah Logan. Number 26, Lita. Number 27, Mighty Molly. Number 28, Ronda Rousey. Number 29, Satsi. And number 30 is Shayna Baszler. So let's go over the list. Okay, it's a few things. I like everybody who was in here, anything, but the people who I was so excited to see and make a return. Number 1, Cameron, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. And Ivory, Mickie James, and Sarah Logan. Those are my 4 women. But let me start with Sarah Logan. When Sarah Logan came out, I almost cried because I always been saying they have done Sarah Logan wrong, and I will come back and talk about a video with just Sarah Logan in it, So I almost cried when I saw Sarah Logan, and I'm like, oh, I was just so happy just to see that and to see her there. And it shows that WWE does care about some of the female wrestlers who might not have, made it big, but they still care. It shows that they still care. Then the other thing was Ivory. Okay, I know which gimmick they was doing, can't call it, but I wouldn't have had her come out in that gimmick. I really believe it was the gimmick before that gimmick. They could just have on her regular wrestling gear, and not this, she's like, what, 50, late 50s, early 60s, something like that, but she still looks good. I think we could have got a little more from Ivory, and I wish WWE could have gave that to her. and let her have that. And like have a little bit of a moment with that and not coming out with a mic and doing, you know, that gimmick. I really wish we could have got a little bit more from her, but not as that gimmick, but in a different gimmick and stuff. Okay. Okay. Let's talk about, I'm gonna talk about Mickie James in a minute, but let's talk about Cameron. Y'all, how many times I've been on my, if any of y'all follow me on my Twitter or on my Instagram, knows a couple months back, about around, let me see, earlier, late December, y'all, some of y'all who follow me knows I told y'all I had said something on Trend's Facebook when I said, oh, Trend needs some backup. We all know who she needs as backup. And if you remember that, if y'all follow Trend and you saw that that message from me, you know I've been saying Trend needs Cameron. Okay, now I'm gonna get on Corey Graves right quick too in this situation. I felt like, one, Sonya Deville must have took somebody's spot. That's one. Number two, she did not get in the ring until she found out Cameron's association with Naomi. Now, let's get on Corey Graves' big mouth for a minute. Corey Graves started telling Sonya about Naomi and Cameron's association, saying they was tag team partners and everything else. That wasn't Corey Graves' business to be doing it. And number two, after she found out Cameron was associated with Naomi, she said, oh, okay. She go on and get in the ring, and she goes on to attack on Cameron. Cameron didn't even get this, and I really believe WWE probably had some spots planned for Naomi and Cameron to team up together for a bit and stuff. So really and truly, that was a mess. And to me, I want to hear from y'all. Do y'all think Corey Graves had a right to tell? And I'm gonna put Pat McAfee in there too. Did they have a right to tell Sonya Deville about Naomi and Cameron's past? To me, I really felt no, they didn't. And they should have just kept their mouth shut about that issue, for we could have got those spots with them too. And that would have been we didn't get to see a real Funkadactyl reunion. And I hope in WWE rectify it and just let Cameron stay there a little longer until this Friday, and Cameron comes in and help this Friday. And she go, girl, and she go, I can picture it, and I will talk about that in a minute, if Cameron came to Friday Night SmackDown and stuff. So then, let's talk about Summer Rae. I knew WWE was going to exploit the Natty Summer Rae feud that we all remember from Total Divas. I went back and I had to say, coming up to this, I knew this, and I said, oh, Summer Rae, she did a good shit. Like, oh, I understand why fans don't consider her a legend, but Summer Rae, it was an okay spot and stuff, but she wasn't a top credible wrestler in the day. But you see her now, it looks like she's been training since she found out she was going to be on the show, in the Royal Rumble. So I just I'm going, she looks good. The red hair looked good on her. I'll admit, that red hair looks good on her. But we all knew, and stuff. So let's talk about, oh my God, we got to talk about Mickie James. I was so excited. And I'm going to blame Vince McMahon for this. Even though, yes, y'all went through the Forbidden Door. And I hope this Forbidden Door, since they came through the Forbidden Door and working with TNA, I really felt like that should have led up of more superstars from TNA to be part of this Royal Rumble. So like some of the spots, they could have gave this like formal former WWE superstars that are on TNA. They could have did that on in the women's and men's promotion, and in the men's too. So that could have been a big thing they could have done. And I'm gonna get on that in just a minute of like who they could have, with Mickie James being there, which ones they could have brought in for the Royal Rumble. Also with Mickie James, we got to see Melina. Oh my God, I love Melina and Melina at number 2 and Sasha at number 1. Oh my God, now I love the Sasha get up. Hello, if you grew up to Sailor Moon, I know I did. So hey, the little Sailor Moon gimmick, I thought that was pretty good. I hope they like just give Sasha Banks a top match at WrestleMania because she really deserves it. And now let me talk about Carmella, because when Carmella came out, Corey Graves went into this favoritism. Thank God he wasn't in the men's Royal Rumble, y'all. He played favoritism to his girlfriend during this whole match. It's stuff. And I was like, no. That's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair at all. That was just, to me, it was not fair. Now, let's talk about people we should have had in the Women's Royal Rumble that wasn't in there. Now, we heard, okay, so I heard Asuka was there, but she wasn't used. Because, like, she is, like, one person I really thought, when I would start hearing Asuka, I think y'all remember Asuka wasn't there, and I'm like, okay, Asuka. So I felt like Asuka could have been part of the Royal Rumble. She was there, but she wasn't used, so let's put that there. But let's hope next year for 2023, she is there and she gets to perform at the next year WrestleMania. I felt like AJ Lee, this was like a time that WWE should have been reaching out to AJ Lee. JoJo Huffman, Bray Wyatt's wife. Now, the reason I said JoJo Huffman, I'm going to get on that in a minute. Let me go through all these names. Amber Moon, Eve Torres, Cherry, I think some of y'all remember her from back in the day. Michelle McCool, B-Fab, come on, I follow her on Instagram. B-Fab, and last but not least, this could have been a way for WWE to extend an olive branch to Jazz, and that was that. Now, to get me to say, I really felt like all those women that I've just mentioned should have been part of this year's Royal Rumble, especially Jazz. And that's what I wanted, because if they had Jazz, we could have had a moment with Bianca and Jazz. I mean, think about it. Both at the same time doing they both have this move that they do that is just like, I can't think of the name of the move what Jazz call it. Can't think about what Bianca calls it. Excuse me, y'all. What Bianca calls it, but it would have been like a cool, like, show off, like, Bianca's right here. She got, and they notice that, hold up, and they lift the person up, whoever they do it, looking at each other, turn sideways, looking at the camera, and then look at each other and then do it. That would have been like a cool moment just to see. Now, like I'm saying, let me come back. Now let me come back to Jazz. Now the reason I said WWE could have reached out and brought in Jazz, this would, like I said, this could have been an olive branch of them reaching out to her and squashing the issues that they have with her. Jazz is one of several black women I remember from the back in the day, and Jazz really deserves that. If you can give that moment to Jacqueline, if you can give that moment to Jacqueline, you can surely give that to also, if you can give that moment to Jacqueline, you can also give that to Jazz as well. And things. So now let's get back on Mickie James. Like I said, Mickie helped us open the helped WWE open the forbidden door. And, you know, everybody on TNA was talking about it. Everybody in the wrestling industry was talking about it. And, like, it was pretty profound. And I actually felt like they could have invited some of the old former female wrestlers that are on TNA to be part of the Royal Rumble some kind of way. Participate at the Royal Rumble or appear on the pre-show and stuff like that. So let's go over some names that for the Women's Royal Rumble, they could have, thanks to Mickie James, also could have been part of that Royal Rumble. So one and foremost is Gail Kim, Queen of the Women's of the Knockout division. She could have appeared on that. Gail Kim could have appeared as also a representative on TNA on that pre-show. That pre-show and everything, yes, and stuff. She could have. But she didn't. Okay. You could have Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. You know, they're known as the Influence, the current TNA Knockouts Tag Team Champs. The new inaugural Tag Team Champs. There goes somebody, two people they could have invited back. They could have invited back Chelsea Green to be part of it. And they could have invited back Dana Purrazzo. She was on NXT for so many years. Now look what she went from going from NXT, and then in 2 years' time became women's champ. So we'll have to. I mean, that was a miss right there. And another one would have been Emma, very known as Talia Dashwood. I mean, those are some women that we could have got thanks to that crossover. But y'all, I want to hear from y'all. I want to hear what y'all thought about. And do y'all agree with me that Corey Graves and Pat McAfee should not have told Sonya about Cameron and Naomi's tag team back in the day, how they was associated, and was that a right choice? Because we did not get to see, you know, Cameron do much and stuff. But Naomi, she went in there, she showed out, and if I could remember her straight, before she was eliminated, somebody eliminated Sonya. But was it right for Sonya to be in this Women's Royal Rumble? And do y'all agree with me that WWE, when they invited Mickie James to the Royal Rumble this year, they could have also had some of the former WWE superstars who is also on TNA come and be part of the Royal Rumble as well. Let me hear what you got to say. Until then, I'm Alicia. Don't forget to thumbs up this video, comment below, and subscribe to my channel. Bye.